Here we have Charles Schulz's Charlie Brown's All-Stars. Now, this is a great representation of children and the joys of summer and playing baseball. I really like this. It brings fond memories to me as a kid. And these are one of those that you always remember from your childhood, I think. I think they were always in the schools. Again, it's very hard to find these first editions because they're all beat up. They're either torn apart or colored on, or the pages are ripped out. And so if you get an opportunity to find one, jump on it, you know, save it for your kids or your grandkids. On our title page, we of course have a great picture of Snoopy on a skateboard skating over the pitcher's mound while he turns Charlie Brown upside down in the middle of the air. Schulz was great at that. This is published by, again, the World Publishing Company, Cleveland and New York. This is the first edition from 1966. To look at Charlie Brown, you wouldn't think he was a baseball fanatic, but then again, maybe you would. And the picture here of Charlie Brown with that dopey smile on his face and his baseball hat is tossed to the side, it's just pretty entertaining. Now he's got the girls on the pitcher's mound on the next page here, and they're both yelling at him from each side. And so Schulz has drawn a portrait of Charlie Brown, but he's got a double profile because Charlie Brown is forced to look back and forth to each one of these girls that are yelling at him. He's always dropping the ball. There's a big exclamation, "Ah!" Snoopy's allowed to play. And of course, he's got a mitt that he's got on his paw, but he instead catches the ball, of course, with his mouth. So I think it's also a prescient sight of humans as they get older, because in the course of a game as a child, it's amazing how everybody thinks it's all lovey-dovey and everything, but kids can get pretty competitive towards the end of a baseball game, and they're screaming at each other, and they all want to be the best, and they want to win, and they want to beat their foe. And Charlie Brown is eventually he's wearing our manager uniform, and he's starting to cry, you know. So after he's made the manager, it starts to rain, and it's pouring down rain. But Charlie Brown, and sure enough, when Linus put on his raincoat and went out to the ball field, there stood Charlie Brown on the pitcher's mound. He was wondering where everyone else was. Linus didn't say anything. That's the Boys and Girls of Summer with Charlie Brown's All-Stars, a hardback printed book from 1966, a first edition. Thanks.